All right, guys, we are live on the Who Killed Kenny podcast. This is number 2. It's episode number 2. We have Zach Dolton in the building, one of my best friends coming through today, which I really appreciate coming in as number 2 guest. So since the laptop's here, you'll probably need to speak slightly loudly, Zach, since I'm a little closer to this, but
I got a loud voice.
I'm
a coach, so
yeah, he knows how to do it. He knows how to do it. Cool. So I think the coolest way to start this off is probably just to bring people up to speed on where you're at with what you're doing today. So if you just want to kind of go ahead and give a little free promo here for Dolton Sports, feel free.
Yeah. So right now, trying to build this company, my family's company, Dolton Sports. It's kind of a smorgasbord of different offerings that we have, primarily built on our summer camps. We offer basketball, soccer, baseball, all different sport camps. We work with a couple of townships doing after school programs. And then my thing always to basketball. I coach basketball, play basketball, so I do some training with kids one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's I'd say my kind of passion with it is working with kids and training them and improving their basketball game. But it's now grown to a more, it encompasses a lot of different activities. We work with 3 different townships. So yeah, it's a fun thing. I love working with kids.
And you guys are mainly Montgomery County right now. How far out do you, I guess,
so
would you go?
We're in Montgomery County, a little bit in Bucks County.
A little bit in Bucks, yeah. Okay.
1 township in Bucks and then 2 in Montgomery County.
Okay.
And that's kind of where I prefer to stay, just because.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize in Montgomery County, you can get like, it's like an hour to get all the way through Montgomery County.
Yeah, it's been like, I feel like Willow Grove especially lately blowing up, like where we used to live over kind of where the corner bakery is. You keep going past the Walmart, like that whole area is just built up now. More in the last 5 years or so, it's insane. Yeah, it's like a mini city now. Actually, there's a couple homeless people last time I was there, dude. I don't know. We've had some recent.
Yeah. Some problems are definitely moving up 6 to 11.
Yes, they are. But you can't avoid them, man. It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've talked about many people about this. I don't know what you can do with a situation like that. But that's for another episode. Cool, man. All right. Well, yeah. So Dolton Sports, guys, check out their website. I'd have it in the description here. Don't forget to check them out. They do basically any sport you can think of. Started with basketball. Right?
Yeah,
that's your bread and butter.
Dad started the company back when I was,
I went. That's one of the ways we went. We met.
Both camp attendees in the past. Started back, I think, in 2003.
Yeah, I must have been first grade.
Yeah, we were first year. We were going was first or second, and then
Open Door Christian.
Yeah,
Shout out Open Door.
That's our elementary school. Our roots.
That's our roots, baby. And they actually don't. It's sad to say they actually don't exist anymore. But the
church still does, though.
The church is still in existence.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are they doing with all that?
With all the school space? That's a really good question. I'm sure you think that they're using it somehow, but probably for like Sunday school, Bible studies, stuff like that. I don't know. Dude, that's a big
empty schools is like a horror movie material.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's spooky season, so it's definitely kind of scary. But we'll see. Man, I'd love to get back in that very small gym that Phil and I refused to play in because it was so small.
It wasn't regulation.
It was not regulation. I think we can all agree on that. But it did give us a very severe competitive advantage. And there was a short-sided basketball court, and
3-point line was at the half court, basically.
No, I wouldn't say that. It was.
You get there in one dribble.
It was pretty small, not quite that small.
If you were on the bench,
you're a big guy. You're a big guy, so it's different. But I mean, yeah, maybe you in one step, but I'd do that. Right,
you couldn't be on the bench on that court because your feet were always on the court, so you were technically in the.
It was they were asking people to get hurt just running into that little stage right behind where all the musicals and stuff were right behind there. But no, that was a good time. We had a good membership at the door, and then what was it, 3rd grade that you went to Philmont?
Did 3rd grade at Open Door, then
fourth grade was my first year. First through 3rd grade, where me and Zach became buddies playing football out in that. I remember they had the arc. Arc. Did you break your arm one time? I'm pretty sure you did.
It broke my arm, not at the arc, but while we were in school.
Playing football. Yeah, we're playing football, and we had a good crew for football. there's plenty of guys that'll hopefully get onto this podcast that I'm thinking of some crazy, like 2-hand touch football. First or second graders, dude, we were going crazy.
What I remember about our football days at Open Door was we thought we invented the game throwing catch. It was just jackpot.
Yeah.
Like we were like,
we call it throwing catch.
We were like, this game
we thought you just throw it up in the air and then
one tries
for it. Oh my goodness.
And then we found out that's called jackpot.
Nothing's better than that. That was amazing. Oh my gosh. You didn't get hurt on that, right?
No. I got hurt. I got hurt on no, it wasn't even at Open Door.
Oh, it wasn't Open Door. I just remember you being past that for a while.
I had to do all of our race for education letters. I wrote with my left hand.
Oh my goodness. I remember people signing it. That was probably one of the first passes I remember signing. Yeah, man. Go back to Open Door. I'll get plenty of Open Door guests on here. The next one will be I think this one that'll be fun. Jake Miller, shout out Joe Miller, shout out Open Door. Miss Pascal gets a shout out. Plenty of good teachers. Mr. Taylor. So yeah, we had a really, really good set of teachers back then that helped mold us at a young age. So we appreciate Open Door. But yeah, so dude, I kind of have I did this with my dad on the first episode. I do have just like some topics, a little outline that we could obviously better if we don't stick to it, but just stuff that is interesting. So first thing that I had jotted down was to kind of get people up to kind of where we're at. Not now, but let's say 5, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, when you were a very, very competitive basketball player. So I was at a separate high school than Philmont at the time, and one of our favorite things to do, me, my brother, our friend Leash, we would always go to your Friday night game because Zach was dropping 25. I mean, on a steady basis. We actually made T-shirts that said the Zach Pack, and we had that going for a while. And we made sure not to sit with the Philmont fans because your fans got a little annoying. Shout out Philmont to those fans. So we were kind of our own little fan section, separate from Philmont, just rooting for Zach and trying to be louder than the Philmont section. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, every time he scored, we're freaking out. And I love the way Philmont's gym is set up with that over. I love watching.
Good gym for a small school.
Yes. Yeah. So and it just gets louder. Exactly that small school environment. So yeah, it was a lot of fun when your best buddy is tearing it up on the court. So I kind of want to kick it back to you and just talk a little bit about like where you coach basketball. Sort of talk about your kind of Division III basketball journey a little bit. Even if you want to talk about senior year and just maybe selection of what that was like to get into schools and all this.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it feels like it was a different person. You have to be a different person when that's like
a long time ago.
Yeah, and if you're playing a competitive sport, you want to play in college and that kind of thing. That's like in your head. That's like your life. So at that time, senior year, junior year, that was all I was thinking about. I really wanted to. I mean, my ultimate goal was to get a Division I scholarship. I did not, obviously, as
you could have sat the bench somewhere.
Yeah, potentially, but ended up choosing to play Division III. Went to Messiah College, played a little bit there as a freshman. Learned a lot there about. I mean, it's.
Out of Messiah College, both my parents went to Messiah College, and both Glenn and Cam both went to. Shout out Glenn Dolton, by the way. We'll give him more of a shout out later. But Zach's dad is one of the best coaches in Montgomery County still to this day. So just legends about Glenn Dolton. So William Tennant and then Philmont. Am I missing a school there?
Not as the head coach. Well, no, he was the head coach at Lower Moreland.
Lower Moreland. So yeah, he's been around the Montgomery County area. If you're a basketball coach in the area, I'm sure you know about Glenn Dolton. He's got a really good track record. So that's kind of where's that comes from. You got basketball in blood. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, then I guess that kind of is where my my interest in everything came from. Was my dad and being a ball boy, like high school games, from the time you're like 5 years old. But played at Messiah for a year, then ended up playing at Cairn University for a year. That was the end of my basketball career. Decided to stop playing then. But really,
do you remember what made you stop? Like your first, I know it's hard to say, like a spur of the moment answer, but like gut reaction. What would you say was the main reason you stopped?
I think it was a desire to get out, kind of the feeling that I described, where that competitive drive and everything is your entire life, and wanting to have. I don't want to say like a normal, because I wasn't a professional player or anything like that.
but it takes
But I wanted to have a more,
tons of time.
yeah, it took up time and it took up mental, capacity. I mean, it's a lot of what you thought about and what you cared about. And I'm looking back on it. There's some things that I'm happy with the decision, or some things I'm not. But a lot of what the decision did led me to where I am with Dolton Sports and everything. I think that opened a lot of doors for me. So miss playing. We still get to play, in the summer. If you don't know, Tommy, you want to chip this summer?
We did.
Back to back now for our team.
Technically the college league when you sign up.
Exactly.
All for that.
We're still holding
There's some older guys. Honestly, I feel like that league is sort of aged with us a little bit. Like, there's not really that many young.
No, there's a lot of late 20s. I think once you're in a men's league and you're the oldest guy in the league, that's when you have to start. Considering maybe it's not a smart idea.
Dude, I'm getting some white hairs.
And basketball's a sport where you're going to hurt yourself.
Knees. That's what you notice. I feel like over time, the knees, from the rebounds, just coming down, that takes so much more.
And the cutting stuff.
And when you were in college, every game, you had a recovery process for the ice baths and all the rest of it. Every practice. Yeah. So that's the thing.
Practices were harder than games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Practices were worse than games.
What was like the hardest drill you guys would do? Were you doing
running
beat tests? Any beat tests?
Yeah, we did beat tests. Those weren't the worst. Is when
you delay
punishment running. Was the worst. Punishment running.
Oh yeah, like suicides.
They took them to, like, we would do just different stuff that would challenge you. A lot of free throw shooting.
Even started with
exactly. And people get broken sometimes. People get through it. People throw up. People take injuries. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
You never fake it. Oh,
I did have a move in high school.
There was a
in high school practice. If I would go to the basket and miss a layup, a lot of times I did it, and I did it in a joking manner, but I would miss the layup. And then
get out of the drill.
No. Miss an easy layup, and then I'm like, oh, I bumped my something happened, and everyone's like, oh, you good? You good? I'm like, no, I'm just messing around.
That was mean. 25-point score. You're probably giving people heart attacks out there.
We had a good squad.
You guys. Michael probably still is very, very good.
And the team that came after us. I mean, there were some young guys on that team that ended up.
Michael was D3. He played D3, right?
Michael was great.
At Coast Guard, that's right. Shout out Micah Valdez. Maybe I'll get Mike on. So shout out Micah if you get to see this. You guys had a squad, man, and I feel like everybody knew their role. Shout out Evan Steiger. Still to this day, he has a role at his size. He figured out a role. I remember playing him in middle school, and he was the best player in the league. And shorter than everybody, but he just physically, he knew it was like the Scottie Pippen, where to read, where to be. Not Scottie Pippen, Rob, where he's anticipating the rebound. He was very, very good, and you guys were always scary to play. Like in middle school, we were rivals. So like 8th grade, it was Philmont. I mean, you guys were under 7th grade.
I know where this is going. I
had to bring up 7th grade. So 7th grade, in the gym we talked about. I'll keep it quick, but in Philmont's gym, it was your tournament or something like that. You guys were running on like a 20-something game streak. I don't know the exact number, but you guys were undefeated forever. This is where Mr. Taylor gets a huge shout out. Mr. Smith, great coach. We love Mr. Smith. I've learned so much from Mr. Smith, but Mr. Taylor actually coached the girls' basketball. And Mr. Smith, I forget was in. What happened? Maybe he was sick or something. Just could not make the game. And Mr. Taylor was he was our sub coach for the game. He threw out some kind of interesting tactics. We had a player named Josh Smith. Shout out Josh. Josh killed it. He was really, really speedy and could get to the lane. And then we had Jake Miller, who was kind of dynamic. And I was more of like a I don't really know how to describe my game, but I was probably getting like 10 to 15 a game, and playing good defense. So that was my prime by eighth grade.
That's the E&D guy.
Yeah. So Zach had a player, I forget, Ben. Ben, really husky guy, could dunk in eighth grade, correct?
Yeah.
Could dunk in eighth grade, so he was very intimidating. And I don't want to botch the story. Was he hurt this week?
Yes.
So he was hurt. Okay, so leading up to the game, we knew this guy was at least potentially not going to play. We didn't know for sure. I remember like asking you guys in the bleachers, like, "Hey, is he playing?" I mean, this kid could dunk. It was crazy. So, and that was, I mean, probably a big reason you guys weren't beat. You were great back then.
No, we always had like a kid that was
he was
a little bit more physically mature than someone else.
He was awesome. So he was very hard to beat. You guys were beating us by 20-30 when you had him. So we came in with Mr. Taylor sub coaching. We all loved Mr. Taylor as a teacher. We were kind of excited about it, honestly. And then we became more excited and motivated once we found out that Ben was going to be out. And I mean, it was still a close game, very close game, but we ended up beating Philmont Street. That is one of the coolest memories I have of as a child, honestly, from sports, child sports memories that goes on. But I think we wanted to get to the very end more of just like an overall sports memory we talked about, just like not our own sports lives, but yeah, very cool moment. I could not resist bringing that one up. Like, it probably goes down as a bad memory for him. So I had to throw that out there because it's
luckily there's other bad memories to overshadow that one.
Yes.
But now that you brought it up, it definitely does still
things a little bit. Yeah. We didn't win by that much. Yes.
No, it was a good game.
Loud Tim, of course. So it was a good memory. Shout out to Mr. Taylor. Yeah, so yeah, we talked about coaching and training a little bit. Do you want to kind of get more into, because you did give your Dolton promo, but like I guess from a coaching and training perspective, what would you say is like the hardest thing? Is it like the kids that have completely dependent on the kids, or sort of the biggest challenge you said with right now when it comes to coaching and training from Dolton? Is it the staffing? Is it the
I think the first thing you said is pretty good. I mean, it is when you work with a variety of age groups, you have to change the way that you're dealing with them. Sometimes going from working with a 3 to 5-year-old age group to then going and coaching.
And it's usually like back-to-back half hours, or sometimes.
Sometimes,
yeah. Switch your.
Sometimes, yeah. Like for example, even yesterday, I had a 3 to 5-year-old program, and then I had a first to sixth grade program. So very different. Type of kids you're dealing with.
Switching it up.
And it's not just the type of kid, but the way that you're going to teach.
Sure.
I think the best people that are good at teaching a skill or improving someone in whatever they're practicing can make it understandable for that specific individual, whether it's their age group, the type of way they like to learn. And then I think the other thing that's challenging right now, it definitely is that. I think because of what I just described, it's not an easy job to do. I mean, if you want to have a good company, you want to have a place that people want to.
I feel like it's gotten harder and harder.
Yeah, and then you guys want
more to do.
Right,
more jobs, right? People are getting paid slightly more areas.
Yeah. So it's finding good people to do it. I've been blessed so far, honestly, finding good workers that are passionate about it like I am. Yeah. So that's good.
And a lot of them are playing basketball growing up and like having familiarity. Yeah. I think that helps too. Kind of have that camaraderie of like the Texans, but they're really good guys. They've grown up in the Dolton program. So that just happens.
Right. They have an idea of what we're about and the type of stuff that we want to provide.
Exactly. Right. They can't get they want to now be counselors, trainers, whatever you want to call them. But very cool. Kitchens will definitely get you on. They're the reason we win the summer basketball league. Let's be real. It's like kicking and screaming, feed the Italians a little bit. You know that movie. I'm not sure reference, but yeah, so everyone watch that movie. Feed the Italians, yeah. So it's like feed the Italians, yeah. So it's very much like that. Tiffany. So I think we talked about college a little bit. We could definitely, I mean, we didn't talk about in college is that when Zach finished his basketball tenure, which you never really finished. Let's be real, you're still playing, you're still coaching, you're still training. Like it's in your blood. You're still a JV coach to this day. So I think what happened next, right? So I think pretty soon after dropping out of Cairn, you said, which killed it for Cairn, by the way. Yeah, you were still getting 15 to 20 games.
Yeah, something.
So he finished kind of on top from that perspective. Like really never faltered on his role and just his ability to get to the rim and threes were big for you. I think threes were huge for him. Clutch three. There were some Cairn games where you like won the game with a couple back-to-back threes again. We're going crazy up in this thing. So I think how long was it, would you say, between Cairn and when you switched up kind of your life? Like you started working, you applied template.
Yeah, I would say maybe within.
It took a little time, I think.
That summer, I was thinking a little bit about what I wanted to do. Then I got into Temple. Yeah. We were living at Temple together down at Temple.
Yeah. So fast forward to 12-17. So that's kind of where I was getting to. So Zach and I, just from the outside or from my side, it was basically, I have one of my best friends who's been doing this very competitive basketball his whole life. Had been a pretty steady. Actually, we skipped a whole chapter, which was he lived in our basement with us. So that was my sophomore year. So I think you were still playing it.
No, that was before.
You're right after. Okay.
Before I played at Cairn, after.
Okay, so I'm getting mixed up, but. Okay. Before you, so in between, right. So that was smack dab in between. So kind of get the timeline. It's wild. So
it's confusing timeline.
It is. So in between Messiah and Cairn, there was no other school between them.
No,
because this was the Messiah and Cairn. And how much time did you take off basketball? You weren't much. Maybe one semester, one year. I mean,
1 year.
1 year. So he took a gap year from basketball. Which then he technically use it later, right?
Yeah, I still had I didn't learn knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So he knew that and kind of want to play basketball at the time. But also, I don't know if you can correct me wrong. You didn't really want to live with your parents at that point. You're kind of looking for because you've just been on a campus, right? You were kind of, to some extent, you were trying to live on your own.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was at. I wanted to be a little more independent.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was working at the time too.
And we were working 5 minutes away.
Right.
And we're both working at the same place, both for swim school, where I met my wife, Tyler. So it was just kind of made sense, I think, because you were always over. That eventually my parents and me and Mike proposed it to my parents. I was like, hey, Zach, it's basically anyway, we're working very similar shifts. It was kind of like a college setup in the basement, where it was we're roommates essentially before you even moved. But he ends up moving in. I'm sure I'll find footage somewhere of what that garage looked like when we had you fully set up in there. But we're talking about folks in the winter, especially, we were breaking some major violations. It was electricity in that garage. We can say that now. But
it's like a 1900 house.
I got to figure out what date that house was.
Long time ago.
Shout out Tim Hurd, because Tim Hurd now occupies the house. But Tim's going to be on at some point, and I actually really wanted to do a tour of get that, because the basement, was something else. We had it set up like a college, I wouldn't say frat, but very similar to what a sophomore junior would have a setup down on campus. We got our best to kind of replicate what our friends were doing down on campus. So, and we had space too. That was the good thing, because there's a door and multiple rooms down in the basement. So I had a little bedroom, there's a little living room area, and then the garage, which he had all to himself basically, the garage, but the electricity in there. So we pull heaters and space heaters to be able to make work. Heavy blanket, electric blanket. That's right. And then all on a whatever it was,
a pull out.
Oh yes, a freaking pull out, and then it's like wired to one of these extension cords. We didn't have any like real plugs in the garage. We had to pull electricity from the other area. So we had like just the crazy stuff. The fire code was not up to par there. We were breaking some serious laws with that, but that's in the past. No one cares about that. But yeah, so just some amazing memories that year. I can't believe I didn't skip that. So that's in between Messiah to Karen. We had quite the time in that basement. It was at least a good right? I mean, if you count the time.
Yeah, probably about a year of it.
Yeah, full year. He was paying rent. Zach was paying rent at one point at the house. So he was official resident of the All-Night household, which is hard to believe. Yo!
I'm just kidding.
Shout out Dave.
No, I think a great fee.
It was a pretty nice fee. It was not. We won't say. I don't remember what it was, but it was not. Let's just say it was not what you paid.
It was fair for living in what I was.
Montgomery County, the rates are high right now. So even back then, it wasn't as bad. But yeah, we're living in Montgomery County, so they were definitely giving me a deal.
Yes.
So yeah, that was fun. We have plenty of stories we could go down from things that went down in that basement. Very good memories. I can't really think of any bad ones. Lots of FIFA games, lots of good music, and Fridays were a big day for us because I remember I usually would do Tuesday, Thursday classes. I was back at Temple Ambler at this time, taking sort of just a year at home to save some money, honestly. Between freshman year and junior year, I was back at home. Temple Ambler, shout out Temple Ambler, small school vibe on Temple Ambler. Of something, wake up and just do whatever.
Listen to whatever album dropped that morning.
That was the coolest thing. I can't believe I forgot that. So every album comes out on a Friday. It was like Spotify does like the New Music Fridays now, but means that I would literally go to New Music Friday or whatever it was and load the album and just listen to it as you're waking up. And it was awesome. Like the Fridays that we had were something special, so I'll never forget that. It's cool that we're actually filming this on Friday.
Sure. Back to it.
Yeah, back to our roots, back to the Fridays. But yeah, we had Fridays off is clutch. That's a good call.
That's a good move if anyone.
If you're in that college age, you can get a Friday. It's a nice little way to prep for the weekend. We still work the small. It was a short shift, like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So you could still kind of get your chores done that day if you needed to really schedule anything. So a lot of times you'll just relax on a Friday morning. It's not better because you've got most of the week done at that point. Monday through Thursday's done. So yeah, lots of cool memories at CLC. I'm sure we'll go down rabbit holes kind of as we go. By the way, I find has pretty frequently here. If not do a split off at some point. So cool stuff in the future for sure. I'll just have a bunch of more topics here. I don't want to. What are we at on time? We're looking at so you got like what, half hour?
Yeah.
Okay. So we still got about a half hour. So just to squeeze a couple good ones in. I'll probably switch it up to a random one actually. So give me an update on your car right now because so Zach, just in general, just to step back with Zach's cars in general. I mean, he has some of the craziest car stories ever. Like when we're talking about just the worst line of all time when it comes to cars. Like the amount of calls and texts I get about my car, the amount of things that go wrong with Zach and cars. It's just a very unfortunate series of unfortunate things when it comes to cars and Zach. So speed us up to your most recent issue.
Well, I'll say for the longest time, my issues were due to having crappy cars, I think. I mean, quickly, the Phillies game. So I bought a car.
Oh, yeah.
Like an old beater for like $1,500. And then we're going
on fire, dude.
We're going to a Phillies game to tailgate from Kenny's old place over in Lansdale. And we had to stop at the gas station, get some gas. This is like 3 minutes from Kenny's apartment before we even all.
That was the clutchest part of this. We weren't too far down.
True. And I go inside to pay. Ken and his brother come inside and tell me that they're telling me the car is smoking.
Dude, it was almost on fire, and it was just out of the blue too. And then we're like, whoa, we need to get out. It was so
while
scary.
parked like in a actual glass bed, so very dangerous. So that was, that's just one of the many. But
luckily, it stopped. You called somebody, and like we were close enough to home. Like we actually were close against the coast. Yeah,
but yeah, so have a decent car now. But I guess I'm creating new ways to have problems. 2-3 nights ago, the neighborhood I live in was hit by a catalytic converter gang.
And how did you figure that out? By the way, somebody called.
No, well, so we have like a neighborhood Facebook group. 5 people had put up that they had their catalytic converter stuff. All unfortunately from Honda CRVs.
Interesting.
Really high ground clearance, and they're really accessible, and like you can.
I looked it up. They're anywhere between 150 and 1,500 bucks.
Yeah. So, not fun when you go to work in the morning. You turn it on, it sounded like the motorcycle is turning on. So it's in the shop now, getting some repairs, getting it fixed up, but
so tough, dude.
We're gonna be okay. It's not the end of the world.
It's not.
But definitely, it's just kind of my luck with things.
Your luck with cars, in particular, has just been insane, dude. It's you can't do this stuff. It's just insane. Actually, I will remember there's at least once or twice where you helped me fix a tire too. So that's pretty good with cars. He's a good car guy.
I mean, if you have as many issues as I do, you better know what.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out. My goodness, Zach and cars do not go together for whatever reason. But honestly, maybe that bodes well for the future. Maybe it's in the past, and then maybe in the future you'll get some nice car or something like that.
I like that.
I don't know what's your dream car? Yeah, I'm not a big car guy.
For the longest time, and this is going to get me clowned, but
clown
for the longest time,
I love that word, clown.
I want to be like the hamster commercial.
Oh yeah, where they're bumping. Yeah,
I just thought that, but no longer. Now it's like I don't have like a specific brand, but I would love a big like SUV, like an Escalade or something.
Yeah,
because I need that. And it's good because
you're driving it with security or something like that.
Exactly.
You're not getting messed with in a car like that. That can see driving that for sure. That's how much does it cost? Cheap.
I'm gonna guess up towards the 6 digits.
Probably, yeah.
6 figures.
And they got a payment plan for everything these days.
Figure it out. I'll be paying until I'm 80, but I'll be whipping a nice car.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. So one other topic that I wanted to get into for sure, we can't miss this one. And actually, I need to follow more people on YouTube that do this because you follow a couple of those. You can probably give some quick shout outs to like the camping channels that you follow. But anyway, camping in general. I don't know where it really started with me and Zach and my brother Mike, but the three of us love to camp. So we have a nice big tent at this point. Our setup's got better over the years. We've done at least, I would say, 3 or 4 good trips to mainly a place called Moose River Plains out in Inlet, New York, which have Moose River Plains, but that's usually where we'll go. It's about 5-6 hours from us. So it's about a 5.5 hour drive, but you are, what they say, off the radar, completely off the grid. 25 miles from any real 20 miles. I mean, it's an hour
dirt road is 15 miles.
15 miles into the woods. So it's like you're off the grid completely. No cell service at all. Which is a little dangerous, but you kind of need it sometimes. Just 2 days. I wouldn't. 3 days you gotta check your phone just in case anything. Especially now that I have a kid, I gotta figure that out because you do want to kind of be there. But yeah, it's something special about when you have your phone just for music, basically, with camera and Bluetooth and the rest of it. So
they do have, and I will shout out the one guy.
Oh yeah,
and I hope I don't botch the name, but Xander Budnick, I believe is his name.
If I can find Xander, I'll put it in.
Yeah, I found him maybe a year ago.
You sent me a couple where they just kind of make their own lifestyle out of camping and like record the whole thing.
Yeah, they've gotten really good at it, which is it seems like it takes a lot of effort to get all the footage because you're not only doing the things, you have to set the camera, record yourself, and you also have to edit it and everything.
It seems like a lot.
But yeah, he has a lot of great videos. He's up in Canada, which is similar to
some great camping.
But a lot of the scenery is very similar to what we see in the Adirondacks.
Yeah.
And
you want to talk about the spot that we go to a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we found this really sick spot. That's, I mean, the first time we went up to this place, like Ken said, it's completely off the radar, so you have no clue where you're going. We're looking at the paper map.
And by the way, you really should have a truck or something going up there. We always do it in a sedan, which is not the best. I think the roads are a little,
especially if it's
you have to drive slow. Bad weather, especially the roads are a little sketch. But
but we didn't know where we were going to stay. We knew we wanted to be by a body of water. Drove around a bunch.
We knew we wanted to be water. Yeah,
we were low on gas, and we knew we had to and it was getting dark.
And we knew we had 20 miles from the nearest gas.
And this was our first time doing it up here. We didn't know the area or anything.
This was 5 years ago or so.
Yeah.
6 years maybe.
So finally, we end up finding this. We go down this dirt road. It leads to kind of like a cul-de-sac, big dirt parking lot area. There was a campsite there, fire pit. It looked like a great spot. We're like, we have this open area too. We play and stuff, do games, cornhole, whatnot. And then to kind of put the icing on the cake, there's a path that leads down to a pond. Hell divers. A little bit. It's a very dark pond.
Dark pond, dark name. Hell divers.
but it's super nice, super beautiful.
Really is.
And it's literally a 2-minute walk, right?
Yeah,
from your campsite.
Exactly. And the walk is spectacular. It's like a magic.
It's like Narnia.
Yeah, it's like you're walking through Narnia to get to this pond, and then when you get to the pond, there's like a Adirondack mountain. I forget what the actual mountain is. There's like a mountain.
Great.
Sunsets are insane. Sunrises are insane. And it's just this one little, what do you call them, decks that go out? A dock that goes out. So people fish and canoe, and it's fun. I mean, you get what on a Saturday or Sunday? You probably get 2 or 3 visitors throughout the day because it is hard to get to. But there are people like
bikers will go down.
Bikers go down.
Cyclists, I guess. Call them.
But people who are looking for the remote camping setup, don't let that turn you off because you still get a lot of privacy. But you do have you don't want to be walking around naked or something like that. You get families and stuff that come down there and most really friendly.
Which honestly probably makes me feel a little bit safer.
Exactly.
You don't want to
We've had police officers come down and visit us, and they're the nicest people ever, just taking a walk on the break. And they literally told us they were jealous of what we were doing, just chopping wood and drinking a couple great beers. It was great.
They were.
So yeah, great time out in the Adirondacks, Moose River Plains, camping in general. We'll have to plan out our next trip. I can't wait to take Luke out camping. That's going to be something special. Luke out. Because my wife, Tyler, she will not camp. So we'll see if that grows on her. But having a son who wants to camp himself, maybe he won't.
Well, you can make it. You can just make it more glamping than camping.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what you just have to do.
Yeah, I have some future plans for we have to take that down out next year and get a different shed. And I have some just backyard glamping alone. Maybe I get a little cot back out, except the shed. Turn it into some sort of it's a project for sure, but make it some sort of clubhouse vibe and a shed. I think we'd like that a lot because then you can camp out back. It's a good starter for a kid too. Because anything goes wrong, you just come back inside. So yeah, maybe we'll start out with something like that, and I'm sure Rich would probably shout out Rich. Give him a shout out because he loves these kind of projects. If he doesn't have anything else, of course he's. Maybe it's a fun project for us down the line at some point for granddad. So yeah, that's camping. I know we only have what we have here, 12:01. I was actually checking my phone to see. So I have our other roommate from college, Andrew Luber, coming on next, guys, and we're going to try if we can make it work to get a little joint pod before activities, but we'll see if it ends up working out. You could probably, I won't throw Andrew under the bus, but there's been times where you schedule something with Andrew and it just doesn't happen. I think that happens with everybody, but he is scheduled for right now, but
He's also on a different time zone.
he's at 9 a.m. Pacific, so I'll give him that. He could still be sleeping. I don't know if they had a wild night. No, probably not. Andrew's been kind of chill lately, so hopefully Mr. Luber's doing okay, and I get a text or call soon. I say if we hit, you have to be out here at 12:30.
Well,
So if at 12:15, I'll get away. Maybe we'll get a couple minutes with him at the very end. See if we can set up the stream here. We'll definitely have some more topics. You added a couple, so I want to make sure to get to some of these at the bottom here. Oh my goodness, you added some good ones too. So ODCA we touched on a little bit, probably not enough, but we can definitely add that. Oh yes, we did. So actually, I didn't even see these. Yeah, we ended up touching on them.
I thought you had seen them because you were
Beautiful,
touching on them.
beautiful. Dude, that ended up working out perfectly. And then so the one we did not touch
He's a
on.
professional.
No, not at all. Not at all. We're just starting out. But okay, so this one actually we have not touched on, which is a really good one. So Zach and I have always had a very similar taste in music, I would say. Pretty broad variety. I think we both would agree. It kind of depends on the mood, right? Like certain. If I had alternative rock, hip hop, pop, electronic, dance a little bit. We don't stray away from too much. Zach doesn't like country too much. It's grown on me a little bit. I used to hate country, but like God, with Zach Bryan, Oliver Anthony coming up, I don't know, man. They're raw. They got that. There's something nice about it. And also when you have finally have the backyard set up with the speakers and stuff, you have a couple brews by the pool, some country music in the summer, man. It kind of hit me different this year. It's the first year I can say that too. I don't know. And I don't know if that'll always be the case. There's plenty of country. I'm like, holy crap, it sounds so repetitive, the same. But music with us has always been a big thing. And what he had jotted down here as a potential topic is concerts and also Firefly Festival. So this was 2015, 2016. We're talking early.
Yeah.
Not early Firefly, but I don't think they did Firefly this year. Yeah. There's like,
oh, really?
Skip the year. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it was after, so what was it, freshman in college year? Summer freshman going into sophomore, I think.
We weren't 21 yet, I'll say that.
We were not. I think we were 20.
Yeah, so that had to be 2016 maybe.
Yeah.
Summer.
But I mean, I can give a quick, before we get into like how fun it was, we're talking about the year we went, Firefly, and I'll see if I can get the description of like a list of who's actually there, but off the top of my head, we're talking.
I can send you a picture of my shirt.
There you go, send me a shirt. Mumford and Sons, Kings of Leon, ASAP Rocky, Tame Impala, Blink-182 was there, I'm pretty sure.
Not that I like him, but I think Dead Mouse was there.
Mouse was there. A couple other Rufus Du Sol, we saw from like 20 feet away before they blew up. So shout out Rufus, by the way. We actually went to, what was this, about a year ago? We went to them in Philly, which was sick. They're just super. If you don't know Rufus Du Sol, I don't know if I'm botching the name, like Australian group, I believe, or New Zealand, or one of the two.
Yeah.
Super chill guys. They're like not a cool, but really not doing moves that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I really like Rufus, but Rufus we saw. I mean, sun was setting for this concert. Like it's in that tent. I don't know if Firefly was in that tent. Dude, I'm sure some people watching this maybe were even there. Who knows? But it was unbelievable. That was one of the best. That goes down to the top three for me. Probably the concert I've ever seen.
Yeah, that kind of venue is unreal.
That was so cool.
With lighting,
they have like an electronic. But yeah, I hope to go someday in the future again. I know we're kind of old here, but we got to get one under the belt. You can't really be too old for something like that either. You get the friend. And
one has to be the right lineup.
Yeah, the right lineup. And I think so. And I'll pass it back to you in a second. But the biggest thing for me, things that I would do differently next time, and we both have talked about this, and we talked about it while we were there. We got fortunate that we had two good groups next to us that were, sizable, five on the low end, high end, maybe 20, between 5 and 20 people. Like the one to our right was like, I guess a college group, old college friends, probably late 20s, early 30s, and we were 20, so they were just cool, like really nice people to our right. I think they're from Delaware. I don't really remember any names, but they were cool guys.
Yeah.
And to our left was just like they were some of the college group.
Yeah.
That was really fun and just friendly. Just honestly out there in festivals in general, I'm sure people can attest to. Very friendly. You kind of forget about real world vibe. Everybody out there is there for the purpose of just having a good time.
Yeah.
And so it turns into sort of this sometimes
It's a community.
chaos, but it's like a community. It's
Yeah,
like
everyone's to have fun together.
Yeah.
You don't even need to. It's like a sports game when you
Yes.
all cheer for the same team.
yes,
Like,
yes.
You already have something in common.
Talking about what artists you like over this show today. Actually, today. We grew up going to Creation Festival, Shout out to Creation Festival.
Yeah, I think they're done.
That was a pleasure. We bonded a ton back then. Shout out to the Stigers. That I remember most of the Stigers out on those trips to Creation. Creation Festival was awesome. Only Christians, talking like Switchfoot, Skillet, and Toby Mac was a headliner. Lion Hay, that's a good one. All those people really still be good. So yeah, so we got to grow up experiencing that. And Firefly was sort of our adult version of that. And we just got very fortunate with that year having an insane lineup.
Yeah, good weather.
Like we paid
Wasn't
maybe
nice.
150 ticket, 200 something.
In total, it's 300. With gratitude to something campsite.
Right now, that's one ticket. Kings of Leon, still that's one ticket. We saw some incredible bands out there. It was awesome. Two Door Cinema Club. That's when I was. They had a show out there. Two Door Cinema Club. Shout out them. Just some really good music and just times that we'll never ever forget. But concerts in general always been big for me and Ziggy. We used to go to like Electric Factory a lot. Fillmore, seen Lewis the Child had more of a stick. That was pre blowing out. Lewis the Child. They were in America. We did at least 3 months. And this one in America was good. And like no offense to Unmade America, but holy moly, that lineup was so.
I feel like that's how it goes with these festivals. The more popular it gets and the less niche it is, the less like then you've already played all these big people have played it or they don't want to play it.
I think that the one that stands out from Made in America was Post.
Mm-hmm.
This was when he just had White Iverson, a couple other bangers, but basically 2 or 3 bangers and no album yet.
White Iverson was the only one that like 90% people in the crowd.
Yes. So the funniest thing was and I've told this story to plenty of people because it's so incredible. But whoever performed before him, I don't remember her. She was awful. Okay. And it was at one of those satellite stages, so not main stage at all, like one of the littlest stages they have. Yeah. And everyone knows White Iverson at the time. That was it. And you're like, oh, Post Malone, White Iverson. It was like one of those afternoon shows where you're looking out for. I mean, a lot of times it's the newer artists. You don't know all of them. So it's usually like 1 or 2 that you know. So it was like 3 in the afternoon or something like that.
Yeah, it's a concert that's going to carry you to like the dinner time one.
Exactly.
Will be a little bit better.
So White Iverson had just come out, and we knew about Post. We loved that song. We've been bumping that song for a while just because it's different. But it's really good. And you're also just like, who is this Post Malone guy? Rappers or whatever.
His look back then too.
Was the cornrows in the photo? We were like, what the heck is this guy? So we loved the SoundCloud days. We loved it though. And 3 o'clock show in the afternoon. So the lady that went before him was awful. She's like, everyone who's there is waiting for Post to come on to the point where the front row starts like, I mean, you know, Philly, like they were cursing at her. I think they were like, "You suck, get off the stage." Like, just really.
To the point where she was like, had to really
cursing
on to them,
to the front row, like, nah, like she did not like that, which I don't blame her, right? Like she's there to do a set, and everyone wanted Post. Like they're kind of like, get off the stage. And I think Made in America might have told her, hey, keep going, because Post was late. He's 45 minutes late at this point, and turns out he was just drinking beers. He was just hanging. Yeah. Which I mean, he's a young artist. He's probably talking to like some of the guys he looks up to in the back. Like, you just never know. We've seen your posters now. Like he's just the man. And he comes out. First song, I think.
Yeah.
First song, White Iverson.
Yeah.
To the crowd that was waiting for it for 45 minutes. We were 15 feet away.
Yeah, I played went crazy.
It was spectacular. The sun was like almost setting at this point. It was like, but maybe it later through that. But I mean, it was. I'm sure I saw a video somewhere of that, but dude, that was something special. So he plays White Iverson and like two other songs, and everyone leaves. Like nothing I've ever seen, dude. Like the crowd just scatters to whoever they were trying to see next.
Yeah.
But I mean, the build up for that, like it was awesome. I'm sure Post probably, if he wasn't too blacked out, probably does remember something.
Oh, yeah.
It was that incredible. So yeah, I'd love to shout out to Post. Post, you want to come on? We'll get you on. We'll talk to you about the Philly show. But oh man, dude, good memories of concerts for sure. Yeah. So what are we at? 12, 15? I want to be respectful of your time. I have to leave in like 15 minutes here. We have at least one or two more topics, but just to kind of like wrap it up, I think we can get into the top three sports moments of all time. That was when we jotted down. We definitely wanted to. And this is a good. I like doing these kind of spur of the moment ones where it makes you think a bit because I don't have. So we're talking Philly sports or sports in general, like stuff that you
I would say sports in general.
just like freaking out at watching.
Yeah. Or that meant a lot to you.
You start then, because I gotta think here.
Okay.
We can go one for one if we go one. I'll go.
All right. I'll go. This is a
mine are probably mostly
nuance.
Philly. I have
nuance one, but like Kenny mentioned, my dad was a coach at William Tennant, and that school was really bad at basketball for a long time. My dad kind of built the program up, and then they had a really good team. I'm not going to get the date right, but early 2000s, and they played a game. They were playing, I believe it was Souderton, to get to the state playoffs. And they made it to the state playoffs.
So I just remember being in mid-30s.
I remember being in the crowd and them winning the game and just going crazy. And
because you would
that was like my
5, 6, 7, 8
I was probably like 8 years old. That was all I cared about was
never forget that.
Glenn's
team.
Was
so cool.
winning those games.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was a really
They won.
That was the one. And if you don't know about Suburban 1 basketball, it's
I'm gonna close the door, guys. We got somebody mowing the lawn out there. That's fine.
It's like 40 teams in Suburban 1, so it's a difficult to win and to get into the state playoffs.
Suburban 1 is crazy. Yeah. So okay.
That also won them the Suburban 1. I forgot.
Wow.
They won the league with that.
Wow. So double win.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a really good one to start. So do you want me to keep the local sports then, or do you want me to go?
I have other ones that
it'll be kind of like Philly and etc.
Yeah.
Okay. So Philly sports, I mean, I can think of so many off the top of my head, but the one that, for whatever reason, when I thought of like just sports moments, was the Deshaun Jackson punt return touchdown against the Giants. That was, I don't even remember Miracle from Meadowlands. I don't remember how old we were during that, but that is something that can just ever forget. Because Deshaun Jackson was already a legend in Philadelphia. One of the biggest history. I mean, I don't know, he might be history about it. He's up there with like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
On just burn
people. Especially just go routes.
Burn people. It was fun to watch that guy. And I don't remember. I have to run it back on YouTube and watch the Miracle at the Meadowlands again. But all I remember is
part two. There was a Miracle at the Meadowlands.
Right. So that made it even better. Exactly. So this is part two where Deshaun got the punt return touchdown as a walk off. And I don't remember how many points we were down, but it was a lot of points. We
came back in the fourth, fifth, right?
I think it was
fifth. Going back to school, touchdown.
I forget that. I remember him getting to the end zone and burning the clock by just running out the line and like just you're freaking out. Your whole household was just freaking out at this point. It was just so much. So yeah, that's number one. That's you.
All right. Number two, I'll go with the entire 08.
Yes.
Like winning the World Series, and then also, more importantly, that parade. Leaving school with that parade, driving down there, people just honking, everyone honking. It was mad house down.
I think it's a go free.
That was great.
Shout out Jake Miller. I was with Jake Miller.
My buddy's friend, my dad took me down with his family. I still think that Gene Petrino like looked at me, pointed at me, on the float.
You remember what part of the Philly? I guess we kind of, I don't know where you guys watched that.
We were in
Center City.
Definitely, it was definitely Center City. I mean, I don't remember exactly where it was, but I remember like
there's a lot of good.
It was Center City because the type of buildings it was and stuff. Yeah, that, and I can remember exactly where I was when Brad Liv struck out the last guy.
Dude, Harry Callis on a call to this day.
Yeah. And that team was like our childhood. I love that team.
We went from Tony to just
being close. All their
Brad. He was
like for
no.
He's fast.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I'll be back on that one. 28. And it's just that was a kickback for setup. That's how runs out. This is my and I actually had my brother, he'll be on the pod. Living so this is funny. If you have to plan out when you want your team to win, probably when you're still in college, living on Broad Street. We were on Broad Street. That during the game was obviously nuts, watching with all your roommates at just it's the Patriots, it's Tom Brady, it's a high scoring game. One of a Hail Mary. There was a Hail Mary all off the ground, looking around, waiting for the reaction to this. Like, chills to this moment. Yeah, Mike and I, craziest hugs ever. It's like just the amount of joy like that after this year growing up, seeing them rise. Obviously, some of the years where they were dreadful. So just to see that and then be on Cross Street. So we're talking about celebrate in there inside in our tiny little park right off the Cross Street. Like 20 minutes Cross Street with no cars. You're literally walking from Temple all the way to City Hall.
Yep.
And this is when people were like climbing the poles, climbing anything you could possibly think of on Broad Street. It was, and I'm sure plenty of people watching this probably down there as well. But just you'll never forget a moment like that. To do it, my senior year at Temple with my brother living with me, my best friend with me, it was something special. So I'll never forget that. I'll see that videos. Yeah. Incredible. So yeah, that's number 2. So let's go back. We still got 4. I got to take for this last one. There's so many good ones you kind of picked.
I think again I'm going to go a little bit nuanced here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with people aren't going to like this, but like 2015. No, sorry, not 2015. 2010. John Shire, Kyle Sandler, Nolan Smith. How's it going? All those guys. Gerald Henderson.
You're throwing out some names that I'm
Great.
I know one of those guys.
Well, John Shire's now the coach at Duke. That's one thing. But great team. I really was into. I mean, I'm still really into college basketball. But them winning that year because I got so much crap at school being a Duke fan, rightfully so because I didn't go to Duke or have Duke. But having them win and knowing like going in that next day, it was great. With all my Duke stuff, rubbing it in people's faces, and they had such a likable team that year. A lot of guys that I was like, I feel like my game kind of correlates to them, and if they can do it, and then maybe I could, be able to compete at that high level. So I think that's going to be number 3 for me.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, shout out Duke. Duke's always been they've been some nasty at basketball. I've wanted to see March Madness Pick'ems with so
Yep.
it's been fun. So I think my final one, if I had to just quickly pick a third one, I just thought again about like eighth grade for whatever reason. And I don't know if you remember this, but yeah, you're not a big hockey guy in general. But eighth grade was the year the Flyers made the Stanley Cup.
I do remember that.
And I actually myself was not a big hockey fan at the time leading up to this. So it was like the Claude Giroux age, Jeff Carter,
Yeah.
Chris Pronger in the center defenseman. So those guys just carried the Flyers and kind of this underdog mentality team. I think they ended up losing to Blackhawks in the end. But I remember being in eighth grade and like, I mean,
we came back from a 3
there were some
like
I have to throw back some of those. Yeah, there's some crazy games, but all I really remember about it because you're kind of I remember a lot about eighth grade, but I remember being sort of on our eighth grade trip when this was going down, watching a game. Like shout out Mr. Smith, like just watching a game with like my eighth grade boys, basically watching hockey, and I just remember for at least a month hockey in general. Not only because like you played in gym class, like for hockey, whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Mike and I got like nets at that point. We got our own hockey sticks, dude. Like, we just went crazy with hockey.
Right.
It's like it was cold. It's like it's fun, dude. It was the first time I felt like hockey, like something like we would basically, if it was snowing, clear out a little place, pour some water, make a little mini ice rink, slip around and play 2v2.
Yeah.
Shout out Calvin Pittman, Esteban Escalante, shout out Esteban. Real 2v2 action with real
skates,
no skates,
but you're like sliding on the ice.
So you're like running around on the ice, you're bruising each other a bit. Like I mean,
my mom. I don't know if you remember my granddad's house, the big back porch he had.
Yeah.
They would, when it was cold out, they'd get the hose, spray all over it,
exactly.
and like literally, like they would actually,
they would make it like legit.
They would actually ice skate on that.
That's so fun, dude. Yeah,
insane.
I never, prior to that time, never even thought hockey was like. You played in gym class, but it's like until the Flyers would play, it was like,
it's cool how a team can. I mean, you say you bought nets, all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
It can literally change,
like,
you know,
economy,
change interests of the entire city.
It was nuts.
Which is probably what's happening now.
Yeah, no, I actually know some, I have coworkers and stuff and people that have kids that are like really starting to get into baseball now.
Yeah.
Because the coach is so good and like maybe prior to us being good would not have thought about baseball. It's like one of those sports where it's Little League for me was really fun.
Yeah.
Little League was so fun. And then as you get more serious with it and lose the aspect of just having to catch with your dad or just like the fun parts of like getting your glove down the alligator mitt, home run derbies, wiffle ball. Like that part of baseball for me was always so fun, that little backyard action. But then the second it got serious, I went baseball and like I could have, but I just hit the wall where I was like, I'm standing this out after school. Like, it's just, I love baseball, but and then you have coaches yelling at that point. And
stakes are higher.
Higher. They're like 85. And you're like, it's like it's fun, but it's not
the same thing for me for baseball. I gave up baseball because it just got too intense. I wasn't that intense about it.
That's the thing. You have to have that, like, I missed the ground. I'm so mad at myself. I didn't have that as a child. I was like, it was rough. Yeah, we've definitely covered a good amount of topics at this point. I do want to be respectful of your time. We got like 4 minutes from the time that you told me I get today. He's got a shift later today. He's got to get to work. But yeah, I want to kind of leave some time here. We haven't covered maybe some ideas for like off pods that you're thinking about that you think that might be fun to do. Anything that right off the top of your head you want to cut out?
Well, I mean, no, nothing. I don't think so.
That's pretty raw. I don't think we touched on it.
I thought it was good. No, I think one thing I didn't mention, I wasn't trying to mention when we talked about music. Most of my music taste has come from this, man.
Oh, stop.
No, I'm serious. And I think that could be something that when you talk about spin-off pods,
Yeah,
like you're so good at, and you're also passionate about finding music
that is my favorite band.
and like I'll just tell you, like if you need to, well, you also have to have artistic music, but like I'll just go Kenny on my pod playlist on from Spotify, and you're good to go. I have contributed to
Yeah, there's
like
a lot of a lot of
but I think that could be something interesting to kind of think about.
yeah,
Is
little music.
music. You want
Oh, shout out to the
talking
one
about-
pod that we really like.
the one with that was
Father son duo. You guys can like if you ever see it. I'll try to put them there. Man, I can't think of the name right now, but that's a fun pod to watch. You need to kill a half hour. I'll go through really good albums, basically father and son that are reviewing music. So they're both musicians themselves. They have a good taste of like that I don't have, like of like
you get
there's
insights that
a
you
snare
don't
here,
hear.
and you're like, wait, what is that?
There's
I
insights
didn't
you
hear
don't
that.
even know.
And the father has, for the most part, not.
It's like our generation.
Oh, yeah, rap. He does, rock. He'll go all over the rap, all over the map. But, they'll digest the whole album together on and go song by song, break it down. And, like, see, the coolest thing is when you see like you see like for certain parts that you're like, oh, my favorite too. Certain parts of the song. Just make everybody kind of change the mood. That's right there. If you can get somebody to just lay it out, like that's the best part of music. Um, yeah, that'd be fun, man. Doing a little. I mean, maybe we throw it back to a little like kind of like we're doing now on a Friday of some sort. Because I'll have a little bit of time coming up here for paternity leave. I think I mentioned that on the first episode too. So like maybe it's a Friday morning thing where we go through the new music. That'd be kind of fun, dude.
Yeah, like that.
We go down. We'll figure out a spinoff. I mean, we could do sports and all the rest of it. But yeah, guys, tell us kind of what you liked about this one. Tell us. Obviously, subscribe. I hate being that like and subscribe, but like that is kind of the way that we know. Was this good? Was this bad? Are we just talking to nobody? So just let us know in the comments. And
I love the honesty.
Hey, I mean
Very
that's the
honest with
facts,
yourself.
man. That's the facts. So yeah, thank you guys for anyone who actually made it this long. I don't know how long we've actually gone, but I'm gonna try and get this up as soon as possible with Zach's approval, of course. But yeah, give us some ideas in the comments, like this, whatever you want to say on YouTube. I'll probably get it to Spotify at some point if I can figure that out. But yeah, appreciate you coming on, man. This has been awesome. So guest number 2, Zach Dolton. We'll call it a wrap there. Andrew Luber, I hope that you're awake at this point. I don't have any texts from you. Anything you want to say to Luber actually before?
I just want to say that he.
This could go a lot of ways, folks. I'm a little worried.
I just want to say that he's the man, and
good,
and also that I think he.
Shout out Luber. He's coming on soon.
Yeah, I think I'm thankful for his friendship.
I am,
and
too.
I hope he's killing it out in LA.
Yes, I do too. I know they've had the issues with the writer's strike. I'll definitely get into all of that with him coming up here, hopefully shortly. But yeah, shout out to Andrew Luber. He was just to add context to like our roommate situation at Temple. Andrew Luber had a room in the back at our Temple place, so and we became very, very close with him. We were already semi-close with Andrew and just knew him. I knew him from high school. Zach got to meet him through me, and just a really genuine, good dude, Andrew Luber. So yeah, we're still close to this day. That's our California friend. So we're gonna get him on hopefully very soon here. But appreciate it, Zachary. Zachary Dolton. Don't forget DoltonSports.net. I believe DoltonSports.net. The guy's the best sports training in Montgomery County. I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. It's the facts. So yeah, give him some love on the website there. But Zachary Dolton, thank you so much, man. And we will we'll call it a wrap. Appreciate it, man.